If you'd like something bright to decorate your walls with, try fashion designs. These ones are available through my link tree, and on Etsy you'll find this plum tree futuristic in the watercolor section, and its best friend, the rockin' red boots, also in the watercolor section, and red shoes, which is colored pencil. And in my Deviant Art print shop, you can find red shoes and this fire fashion design. So red shoes will look like this when you click on it. And if you want to get a print, go to the buy from down here that I'm flashing. And fire, you can also go to the buy from. And when you do click on that button, you'll see that there's a menu over here with different materials and sizes and shapes and optional framing on some of those. Thank you, and the video you came for starts now. Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This week's guest is Sabrina Caro. Sabrina is an expressive, which includes acting, dancing, light work, Reiki, bargain hunting, and more. Hello, we're here this week talking to Sabrina Caro. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi.
All right, so Sabrina is an expressive and she's a multi-talented entrepreneur and artist. And before we get into our mini questionnaire with you, Sabrina, I will show the people what you're doing. So let me get to my share screen. Okay. Oh yeah, I actually have to click share. I always mess it up just a little bit. Okay, so this is your Queen of Pentacles Enterprises website, and it is sort of the one site to rule them all, or the one business to rule them all. I noticed that you had some links up here to some of your other things as well, and those little marker links there.
And that site is still currently under construction, so
I feel ya. I'm working on my stuff too. And then we have the spiritual consulting. So this is that page. And we have a YouTube to go along with that. So we have Return to Source with Sabrina for the folks that want to get some divination going on. And I've got your fine art page here with some of your photography. And I've gone to each of those pages just so we can get a closer look. So, oops, hang on.
More to be posted soon.
There we go. That's all right. We got your fingers in a lot of pies, so it takes a while to cook. All right, so
need an 8th day in the week.
Move the screen over so I can actually reach the scrolly bar. All right, so there's another photo and another photo. I feel like they're all sort of moody, and I'm kind of into that. This is really nice too. I like that one. And your Instagram, Dances Life 1980. This is just a screenshot I took just so people could see what it looks like, because I didn't like able to go on my phone and show it. And then you have your, was it the, bargain hunting stuff that you do. So we have BB's Fab Finds for that. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, I forgot to put up your IMDb page. Rude. Well,
it's here. IMDb, very easy. You can Google search me. Sabrina Caro is one of the first things that pops up is my IMDb page.
I'm so mad that I've missed that. We're gonna fix this right now. There we go. I'm gonna show the people what's going on.
The first one.
There we go. There you are. All right. So with the IMDb page for the people to find you. All right. So I'm going to put all of your links that you gave me down in the description box underneath the video. And then the people will just see, like, during the video, just like one or two of the real fancy ones right down below. So let me go stop share. All right. So I am excited to talk to you, Sabrina. We've known each other for a few years now. I've heard your voice, but now we see each other sort of eye to eye here. Excited that you took time out of your extremely busy schedule to hang out with us. Okay, so the first question is, in your opinion, either fictionally or jokingly or realistically, what is creativity and where does it come from?
I think creativity comes from within, from the soul,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that it's like it's the soul's way of expressing itself.
Mm-hmm. That works. I like that. Doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be super complicated, right? We're not doing word peace over here. Okay, so
Mhm.
question number 2 is, what are you trying to express or accomplish with your art forms?
Well, I had to take it piece by piece.
Right.
With the photography, usually it's just something that catches my eye and I want to share that beauty with others. And I,
Nice.
and I guess in a way too, when it comes to flipping it and things like set decorating, set design, it's that similar concept of wanting to share that vision and beauty.
Right.
So even though it's two different mediums, same type of idea.
Yeah, set design is really important. It's like when you get like for older movies when you finally get to see them in widescreen,
Mhm.
there's so much in the set design that's missed when it's been cut down for VHS.
Mhm.
So I'm excited that you do that.
I dabble a little here, a little there.
All right. It's like, give me a thing, I'll make it.
Yes. So at one point, I worked with this production group called Generation Latinx, and I
Awesome.
pretty much, the running joke was I was the art department,
Oh, uh-huh.
except for digital arts, everything except for digital art.
Mm-hmm.
So prop master, costumes,
Mm-hmm.
I makeup,
Mm-hmm.
you name it, I did it.
Awesome. It's amazing. Okay. Did you have any other thoughts about the expressiveness of the art forms or like what like when you're because I'm not a very like I'm like sort of removed from dance as a human expression. So
Mhm.
when you dance in particular, like that's something that I haven't heard anybody talk about. So I'm sort of curious about like how that feels or what it means in your perspective.
So I'll use the example of one of the movement practices that I do. It's a meditative movement practice called Koya. And I could talk about that for hours, but I won't.
Mhm.
But during one of the segments, there's a free dance, and basically you just embody the sentiment of the theme.
Mhm.
And so, what better way than to use your body as an instrument to express whatever you're feeling to the music or whatever emotions you're going through or whatever the theme for that day,
Mhm.
is coming out of you, then through your body.
Mhm.
And the whole goal is to the embodiment of the form, embodiment of the music, embodiment of the expression, all of that. That's that purpose of that movement practice.
Mhm. So it's sort of like it's sort of like it comes like out from the inside out.
Mhm.
That's neat. I like that because it's sort of like instant manifestation, right? If you're doing it with
Mhm.
your body, you don't have to like write it and then read it later or like
Mhm.
use the materials and then think about it.
Right.
That's neat.
And I once took a class on choreography, and my professor's like, okay, you're in your head too much, get into your body more. What does it feel like when you're running late? What does it feel like when you're tired? And how does that transfer transform into your movement?
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, I get it. Neat. Okay. So this might lead into what we were talking about a little bit earlier today,
Mhm.
because the third question that I've been asking people, I got my cheat sheet here, so I ask it right.
Mhm.
Have you encountered what could be considered the paranormal, and do you think this has a link to creativity? And this includes psychedelics, but I don't mean just drugs. I mean like tripping out on music or smells or certain colors or things like
Mhm.
that. So any of the woo stuff, basically.
Well, yes, I have. I've had many experiences. One in particular, though, when it comes to expressive arts, is I've done channeled writings before.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I totally went into, I guess you could call it a trance state. And wrote. So one of my many jobs, I jokingly say I'm also a full-time fangirl. So so literally I sat down and was thinking of writing, you know, a poem of sorts on the particular group that I still love since childhood. And I sat there, pen to paper, and I don't remember what I wrote until after it was done and I read it. Like I didn't know what was coming out of me until after I was done writing it.
You sort of
And
zoned
so,
out and it happened.
Yeah, I sat down, pen to paper, and it happened. And that happens quite a bit for me because I also write. Sorry, tongue tied. I also write poetry as well, and usually with my poetry, that's kind of how it comes about.
Oh yeah, I understand what you're talking about, because I mean, first of all, I've made my own fan art where it's like I admire like what other people are doing in their art, so I sort of like get excited and I'm like, what do I do with the energy? And then I like this guy behind me here that I'm working on, and you know, some other stuff. But like and I've written poetry too, just it's not a regular thing, right? I don't like I'm not a regular writer like someone like you might write more regularly, and I know my brother writes and some other people write. So it's sort of like I understand like the general idea of it, and also like I've sort of like channeled images too, where it's like I've got a couple of entity channelings I've done on my channel with angels. So like two of them I like channeled the drawing and then did the video, and then the third one with Michael I was like drawing it during the video, so I kind of understand how that comes about. I don't know where I was going with that, but
It's okay.
I'm trying to like empathy and solidarity kind of a thing.
Yes. Also, so I'm very much a clairaudient. So I think that that's how it started for me. And I didn't even like, because when, for example, if I do a reading,
right,
I look at the cards, but I'm listening more than I'm looking at the cards.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot with tarot. When I'm doing tarot, I get a lot of clairaudient messages, especially like when I channel. I'm not like I'm. It's sort of like no entry like into my thing. So like whoever comes in is bothering me. It's like, hey, listen.
Talk to
It's
me. Listen to
yeah,
me.
it's like we're sitting down in a radio booth and they're in the other chair, and I'm like, okay, well, what are you saying to the people? And then I could hear it. Sometimes I can see them like a little movie, you know. So I feel the same way about clairaudience with and to the people who are watching, we're talking about doing tarot and oracle readings because we both do that. Sorry, I feel like I keep interrupting you and going off
It's
on a
okay.
tangent. I didn't know if you had anything else to say
Oh,
about the woo stuff.
well, I mean, there's so many lanes I can go down. I mean, I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you want me to go.
Well, we got a little bit of time, but I'm sort of like, do you think that like any kind of psychedelic, paranormal, or even synesthesia, where you have like two different sensations crossing, for anybody who doesn't know what that is yet, it's like, do you feel like those sort of experiences and creativity are more linked together, like left brain, right brain,
Definitely,
or just sort of like receptivity?
I think so. Because I think it's just because, for example, somebody's having those cross messages, they need a way to get it out, to express it, to kind of get people to kind of understand what they're experiencing. To those who may not experience it, you know, you can tell them all you want, but it's like, okay, I don't know. Can you like show me what you're going through, you know?
Right.
Or what you're feeling or hearing or thinking or seeing, you know? And I think it does lend itself hand in hand to creativity,
Right.
very nicely. It's a great natural outlet for it.
Cool. Do you have any spooky experiences you want to tell the people about or anything? it doesn't have to be scary, but like
Well,
past life stuff, weird stuff.
there's something kind of funny.
You don't have to. You don't have to unless it's, like whatever you want to be public knowledge or just something you want the people to think about in general in terms of the
So
world.
a funny story on the paranormal side. Well, there's somebody who you and I have spoken about before who hangs around me in the spirit realm.
Right. Your best. I mean, it would be the best Judy if it was, the other polarity version of Judy, right?
And he tends to be kind of like a guardian over me. So
right.
When I started dating again after he passed, it was so funny. I was at this guy's house, and he was watching something that I did not care for on the television. I'm like, I didn't like the vibe of what he was watching. And I asked him to, could you please turn it off? He's like, no, I'm really into this. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. It's TV cuts off.
That's awesome.
He turns it back on. I'm telling him, see, you should have listened to me the first time. TV cut off. Again, the second time, turns it back on. Third time, off. This time he can't get it to go back on.
Awesome.
Gets up, looks, it had gotten unplugged.
Oh, wow.
So my running joke is my security guard took care of me.
That's funny. He's lucky he didn't get bounced.
Oh yeah, because he's in his own home, so.
Yeah, get a warning there. That's funny. Early warning system. Oh, that's really good. I like that. I always have like a lot of the time I'll see like my cat Shadow Pat, I think we had to put her down like almost 2 years ago, and like even now I'll see like a clump of stuff that's dark and I'll be like, hi Shadow, and I'm like, got me again.
Well, they come on and visit too.
Yeah, she's been around. I've seen her. She's a trickster. She's sort of like the main theme of my brand, basically.
I'm surprised my little furball hasn't made an appearance. He's staring at me right now.
He's probably mad at you for being busy all day.
Yeah, he's like, you've ignored me, Mom. But he likes to pop in and photobomb when I'm video chatting and whatnot.
Oh, that's funny.
But he's just staring at me. He's like, I guess he knows to stay away because mama's busy.
Well, that's good. So that sort of finishes off the questions I had to ask. Do you have anything else art related that you want to talk about, or projects that you're working on that you want people to sort of be aware of so that they can find you?
Jeez, I'm trying to think. You can find me on this season of 61st Street. I had a nice feature on there.
Nice.
I'm gonna.
Do you know what network or streaming or anything that's on off the top of your head?
I'm in so many different things right now. I get them all mixed up.
That's all right. So 61st Street.
61st Street.
People
Paper
go
Girls.
find it. Look it up.
Paper Girls is on Amazon.
Paper Girls. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Trying to think what else am I doing up here. Speaking of the furball, he's trying to make his way over here. Trying to think what else.
Yours must be burning.
Justified City Primeval.
Okay.
I have a nice little feature going on in that show as well.
Awesome.
Sorry, my hair sticking to my lip gloss.
Oh, that happens. Oh, like I'm trying to like do stuff and I'm like, why is there a hair in my mouth?
Sorry, edit.
Going all the way in there. That's all right.
Edit.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else am I.
If you started like actively choking, I would cut that part out.
Oh, so everyone's been seeing me like.
Yeah.
Get out of my mouth. I was last season of Southside, had a nice little close up there too.
Right, Southside.
That a friend of mine sent me a screenshot of, and he so happens to have the closed captions on, so I told him it looked like a meme.
Awesome.
And
like, see that, you slimes, I'm famous.
Oh, there's a lot of things going on.
That's great.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, Somebody Somewhere. That's HBO.
Okay, HBO, Somebody Somewhere. Great.
Yes. That was an awesome experience on that.
I'm just repeating what you're saying to like, hammer it into people's brains so they go remember to watch it.
Mm-hmm. And you may catch me from time to time as your local VIP assistant in a concert.
Oh, awesome.
So,
I think I remember you posted some kind of story about that recently, or you were telling me in chat or something. It's really interesting because you get sort of like a close up of the other creatives doing stuff and behind the scenes, especially if you get those meaningful conversations. Because a lot of people, like if they're meeting somebody at an event, at a venue, or they got the VIP or the meet and greet, they're like autograph picture. But it's sort of, I mean, I think people, I know that like psychologically there's a reason that people do that, but like for my hours worth, for my money's worth, I always want to like talk to people and like relate to them.
And for me, like for my ones that I've gone on myself, the first time, it's the whole like freak out situation, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to this person. But then after the second time, I was like, okay, let me make it worth my time. Let me have an awesome conversation, make sure they remember me or make them laugh or something.
And I was like, okay, it's like in my head, it's like, okay, act like a normal person, friend mode.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that's why I've been very fortunate to be continually asked to work on different VIP events, because I have that mind frame of like maintaining that professionalism and their
You're not running around screaming the whole time. Yeah, you're not
even
like,
when it was my own group that I am a huge fan of.
I know it's sort of like it's sort of like you have to like calm down in the middle of the freak out so you can get like better, like more better.
Right. Yeah. And I actually got to work one of their shows this year.
Awesome.
As a VIP assistant. So that was an awesome experience on the other side.
Plus
I'm getting some of my money back.
Yeah, true, right? So you get those VIP experiences, that's like live music and stuff, right? So you're getting that whole like sound waves moving through the body thing. Because I was doing some like free card pulls for this spiritual group that I'm in on Facebook, because other people have been doing it. I was like, well, I'm benefiting from it, so I should do a turn. And one of the things that came up when I pulled a card was the sort of like sitting in the sound wave thing. Because the problem like with these, unless you have a speaker with like a 16-inch woofer that you can lay in front of, you're not really getting that full benefit of this like massive, like intricate sound bubble. And that's why loud music is so good.
Sound healing, sound therapy, all that. Even for like this past weekend, I went to Lollapalooza. I just like laid out on the ground on a blanket and just like felt the vibrations of the music.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's not like my favorite concert that I've been to, because I saw Queen and Adam Lambert twice, that was like, oh, but I went to Celtic Women with my parents, and they had like two different guys with like full like a million drums, and like the like intensity and the loudness of the drums like reverberates through the chest. They could feel it like in your lungs, and it's kind of amazeballs.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like if you've only got headphones, then you have to kind of do it yourself and like sort of try to like hum along to it like deep enough so that it's going into your own body cavity, which is, if you're anxious around other people like I am in terms of making sound, then it could be a problem. To like you'd have to like put your headphones on and like lay on the washing machine to like to hack it, which could be its own problem.
Oh, Paul, you just got me laughing so hard. I snorted on camera. Wonderful, Sabrina. First, I'm pulling hair out of my mouth. Now I'm laughing so hard, I'm snorting.
Like, but if you're embarrassed, you'll be more relatable to the people. So I'm just trying to, fend off the stress of your long day.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's sort of one of the things that's sort of like missed during the tarot readings that I've been posting, is that I'm kind of
I'm kind of an ass, not like an asshole, but just sort of like comedic when the opportunity strikes, and it's it's just sort of talking in a vacuum, and people don't notice that. Like, I think some of my jokes are really funny, but I like sort of slide them in under the radar, so I'm like, I don't think anybody's noticed that. It was like to title my things with like really stupid puns related to the material.
Okay, the right audience will find you and they'll get it.
Yeah. I'm actually this is I think I just hit the microphone. Hopefully that won't sound like garbage. Um this is the 5th one of these that I'm doing, and I'm like, it's good. I like it. It's like I sort of feel like I'm being like aggressive and annoying when I like ask people to do it, and I'm like, okay, planning time, and I'm like, no, because you only feel like you're being an asshole because you've been trained not to ask for anything ever. I'm like,
I'm
duh.
sticking you out of that old comfort zone and pushing you forward.
Yeah,
So I'm
exactly.
very
But like
happy for
the
you.
pay,
I'm proud of this new niche that you're
yeah,
exploring.
it's like, well, literally, what's the worst that can happen? People are going to say no.
Exactly.
So what I like is sort of trying to form an artist community. Like, I'll do it like one person at a time. I can have I can have, I think, 100 people on the free Zoom,
Nice.
which is kind of a lot for 40 minutes, but it more than meets the needs. So it's like, oh, like if I'm doing this, then like I can, for I don't have that big a following right now, but at least a few more people will either see what you're doing and like come and follow you or buy your art, or maybe they'll be inspired by what you're doing, and then it's sort of like this is what I wanted to do, like, for my whole adult life, is I wanted to have this sort of artist community like the 60s. And until I had this idea, I think, when was it? Like June 13th, I had this idea. I never thought of a way to like try to make it happen.
Nice. Nice that you got motivated though to finally do it.
Yeah, hopefully if I get a lot of followers and these get more popular, people will come and like watch the back episodes, or I'll have to figure out like different topics or questions for having people on like a second time. So thank you for being a friend and
Thank you for
being
being
having availability and coming on my little baby nugget show.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's funny, when you first, sent me the message, I was like, I don't really consider myself an artist. I'm like, but then I started thinking about everything that I do. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that I hope that there's people out there who maybe they don't see themselves as an artist, but maybe they'll hear this story of just a tidbit, because I just barely touched the tip of the iceberg of
right. And also Latin representation, right? People are like, oh, I'm Latinx, that's not for me. Well, like, yes it is, because Sabrina's doing it. You can do it too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. Okay, I think we're sort of at a natural ending point. Did you have anything else you want to say or talk about, or are we?
No.
All right. Well, thank you, Sabrina. I heart you, and I'm glad that we ended up friends. And good luck with all of your work and projects that you're doing, and it'll be interesting to see you in all of those shows. So I'm gonna say bye to the people, and thanks, Sabrina, and thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to spend more time with me, check out my link tree, CATtheMinion. That's linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. If you're not already on Patreon, check that out. You can donate right here in the link tree if you want to. This is via PayPal, or you could manually go through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. You can visit me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can email me for any inquiries or if you want to purchase a tarot reading. And now for your convenience, the tarot reading PDF is right here in the link tree where you can view the whole thing or you can download it for free. You can go to my WordPress website where you can also get that PDF. Etsy shop, Cafe Press shop, DeviantArt Gallery, DeviantArt Print shop, or my coloring book, Energy Forms, coloring book, Draco Forms, or Lantern Poetry book. And you can also donate to charity right here if you want to. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.